Welcome back, crypto crew. We got Bitcoin slamming into 108,500 right now. Ethereum is juggling billions in ETF flows, moving back and forth. XRP, we got it down by like 287 right now. We're going to cover all this and good old HBAR, so make sure you strap in. We'll guide you through this. And welcome back, crew. It's your boy Tom here. If you like what you see, make sure you give us a like. Make sure you hit subscribe if you haven't already. And make sure you come on over to X and follow us on X, where we talk about Bitcoin, crypto all day, every day. Crypto maniacs there. All right, let's get right into it. Okie dokie. We got Bitcoin right now is trading right at 108,540. Well, 108,570 right now. All right. There's been a sharp sell off. Analysts are calling it a violent repricing, triggered by the fears the Fed could actually delay rate cuts. Now, we've seen this before. The double top has been playing out. We've had liquidity sweeps below. Let me take you over to the liquidity sweep, and we're getting a deeper liquidity sweep right now. Now, I'm going to say this. I mean, I don't like the idea that it actually broke the recent low. It means it's actually moving down towards right down here where we got that 107, and then the deeper correction is 105. That was the level that we've been warning about, and of course we got the main point at around 100,000. So we got to trade what we see. We got to, we can't trade what we want. That's for sure. So the double top is playing out right now. It hasn't really been able to shake off this weakness. We rallied up to about 100 and we didn't even get that far. We got up to like 116,000 or so, 115,008 before the marketplace actually turned down, and again another sweep of liquidity. But I want to take you over. I want to show you an X post that we have where we talk about wallets. And actually, we could see that the big boys are trying to fake us out. I believe they're trying to fake us out. Hang on one second. We could see right in this X post here that massive transfers, million in Bitcoin and Ethereum flooding into winter mute. It's not noise, it's the whole whale playbook. Phase 1, panic retail out. Phase 2, accumulate the dip. Phase 3, send it vertical. All right, so right now we got a lot of area that they could actually continue to push price down at. I'm going to show you that on the chart on the 2-hour. All right, let's get into working on the 2-hour chart. Breaking down below this low right here, not a good technical sign for Bitcoin, okay? Right now, this level has to be overcome. Like 11,000, actually really 11,008 has to be overcome now to shake off the weakness. But right now, Bitcoin is tracking down towards the lower end of the tine of the Andrews pitchfork, right around 107, 106.8. Main line of support in Bitcoin right now sits at 105,000. Okay, so really, in order to look to trade this, if I've never won. You could look to buy like a potential breakout up over here at say 109, like one with a tight stop on it. You could do that. That would be a perfect type of short term Wyckoff spring type of trade, but you got to put a tight stop on it. Right now, we are drifting lower. It is what reality is. The only way we show any type of strength in the short term is to get above this 111. I'm going to actually say right there, 111.8. If not, that's where the resistance is. And I think that right now, what the whales are trying to do is they're just pulling the rug out, and they're waiting for a deeper retrace. Now, the 105,000 is the last line in defense by 100,000. If the 100,000, goes, we're back to that old CME market cap of 97,500. Unbelievable if that were to actually happen. Now, really, Bitcoin has always been known to have like a $30,000 delta. So if we take the top off from the 124, it drives us down to there. And that's maybe where the whales are actually looking to accumulate. So as it stands right now, short term, we need to get above 111.8. Okay, that's your easy. Here's another resistance level right here, 111.3. And then we need to close and get above 111.8. Now, the liquidity sweeps have happened and they've gone deeper Okay, so right now the 105, 10. All right, you know what I'll say? I'll say like 106.8 is in the target range right now for a pushback down into that area, and potentially even the 105,000. So we know that Bitcoin loves this overall pattern. It loves this pattern. It loves the pattern of rejection, breakout, retest, moonshots. Okay, so we're retesting right now. All right, right now we're kind of retesting, right? Um, right here is really the main support on the longer term on the weekly, right? 98. That's basically that CME market gap. Okay, so could we drift down there? Yeah, but that's probably a great place to like load up for a breakout upside for a moonshot right now. So it's been the playbook of the entire bull cycle, and we're seeing it play out again. So now that, we had the 112 retest kind of broken, history says that we could retrace, regather steam. You look at the wallets, what they're doing, they're basically pulling out and they're getting ready to relaunch again. Now, why would you want to buy, 115s when you think you can get them at 100? So, that's exactly what they're doing. They don't know exactly how low the low is going to be, but they probably have, the technical levels just like we have right at 100,000, 105, and that 97,500. So we just have to be very well cognizant of the fact. Also, please, I can't stress enough, get into our pro group. We'll guide, like I said, we'll guide you through it, shorts, longs, and different setups so that you can make some money in this and not just be alone, like thinking, oh, well, I should, just, sell everything out. No, we're not trying to get you to sell everything out because we're believing that the next breakout takes us beyond 130,000. Okay. So the danger zone as it sits right now is really at that 108. Okay, now we've tested it. Let's see how low we've gone. I think we've gone down to, okay, 108.2. All right, so it's still okay, but that's the danger zone. If that fails, we could see a cascade liquidation event with the next support sitting at 105. But if you zoom out, you'll notice long-term models still target 135,000 as a base case, with an upside potential to 190,000 if institutions keep piling in. And we went over this. Yes, they are going to pile in. Right now, this is just short-term movement. It's designed basically to scare you out. If you're just paying attention to the trees instead of the forest, you will get scared out and you will miss the next leg upward. But again, get into our live group and we'll help guide you through it. So right now the bulls really need to defend, like say 107, 108, 108, because if not, we could dip down to 105 and that's going to really freak people out. So, all right, let's get into Ethereum right now. Let me just see what I got here. That's the Bitcoin short term. All right, so here are the points. Once again, needs to recover at least 112. Okay, and then this was the deep valley on the short term. Okay, so now we're testing that deep valley. Okay, so there could be a long here if you wanted to. You could do basically kind of like a spring trade. Okay, just got to put a tight stop on it because if it fails, it's going to drift lower. Okay, that's just the way it goes. All right. So if I was going to, and I'm not going to, all right, because I trade a little bit differently. I would say that you'd have to buy like 109, right, and then your stop would have to be whatever this low is that created like 108. The figure, 108,000 even. But right now it's still showing some weakness short term. All right. So let's get you over to good old Ethereum. Okay, Ethereum itself, we're right now in the discount area, what we were looking for. Okay, so this is a decent area to look to get long some Ethereum. We're seeing Ethereum is actually the star of the show here. Okay, Ethereum has followed Bitcoin low, but now it's sitting at 4,335 ish right now. It's down 4 to 6% on the day, but Ethereum isn't, it's not bleeding. Under the hood, it's booming. Okay, we've seen 1.2 billion flow into Ethereum ETFs in just 3 days. So this is serious Wall Street adoption. Okay, this is a good time to look at it. Of course, do your own research, trade with your head not over it. Get into our pro group. We'll help guide you through it. At the same time, we got an exit queue that's topped 1 million Ethereum worth nearly 5 billion, which could add supply pressure. Okay, and this is happening as it's being processed. So the battle between inflows and exits is real, but analysts, and we still see Ethereum targeting 7 to 8,000 over the next cycle. All right, Ethereum itself is just repeating history. It's just repeating history. 2021 showed us the pattern. 2025 is showing us the opportunity. The retest is where the legends buy. The breakout is where the fortunes are made. Just got to be patient with it. Get into our live group. Can't stress it enough. All right. So, because we're saying Ethereum is not done. It is not done. If we look at 2017, 2016, 2017, 2024, 2025, the fractal's still alive. Okay. Accumulation, fake out, breakout, retest, moonshot. In 2017, it gave us a 5,000% rate of return. 2025 adds Wall Street. We got ETFs. We got global liquidity piling in. The setup's identical. The outcome is moonshot. So again, let's get that most hated rally started again. We just got to wait for the marketplace to catch up with, what, we see. So we know that Ethereum itself is playing the playbook, 2017 playbook. Breakout. After reclaiming the 50 MA, then a vertical move upward. We've seen it before, and it ends one way. This time, the fuel comes from ETFs, institutions, and a market starved for Ethereum. So either way, you buy the setup now, you're going to chase 10,000 later. So really, that's exactly what's happening. Ethereum is really the star of the show. Now we got Bitcoin dominance, which is also putting pressure on Bitcoin because people are rotating out, and that's great for altcoin season. Okay, you just can't pay attention to just one. You got to pay attention to all. So if we look at Bitcoin dominance itself is going downward. Right now it's at 58.13. Okay, it cracked below the support. So dominance is rolling over hard. That's going to add extra pressure onto Bitcoin. All right. So history is crystal clear. When Bitcoin steps back, altcoins go vertical. Rotation is no longer coming. It's already beginning. It's here. So altcoins are about to rip. They really are. If we look at altcoins, the market itself, stochastic RSI just fired a third bullish crossover this cycle. Last two gave 390% and 132% runs. The big move hits when everyone's distracted, and it's bigger than expected. So don't get shaken out before liftoff. Get in our private, into our group, and we will help guide you. All right. So back in the past, I gave you some levels that you could have sold Bitcoin at. I had a level at like 113, 114, and to scoop back at like 109. That's happened. So if we go back over to Bitcoin right now, Bitcoin is actually showing, it's like 108.3. So we just have to be a little bit patient with it. We could see a deeper dip. Yes, that's definitely possible. As I said, I don't like that the low has been broken. For me, that is always meaning that we can go lower before we get another substantial rebound. So I'm just recapping here. So right now, if you are looking to get long Bitcoin, just hang out, all right? Be patient. Maybe look at like 106, 105, 107 and a half. That's not a bad place to accumulate, one third your position, however you want to take it. But the only real sign of strength right now, short term, is above 112,000. That would confirm that we got a potential bottom that is in for the short term, and that doesn't mean it's going to rocket straight up from there. It means that it can retrace to a high or low and then take off. So I just want to make that point very, very solidly. Matter of fact, I'll do it with a path, the best I can potentially do. I'm not really good with this path. And I also have to apologize for the late start because I'm traveling and the internet where I am is really sketchy. All right, so right now let's pretend like we're kids, and this is the bottom. Okay, what it needs to do is it needs to get above 112. Then it could actually, because there will be resistance. I've said it before. There's going to be sellers up there. There's a lot of people panicked. Then it needs to do like something like this. Create a higher low. Then come back up again above this point. Potentially break the top and then trade like something like that before it actually goes back upward, okay? And there goes that path again that I got to double click that I always forget. Now, what is it looking like right now? It's looking like right now there's some sellers, and actually the marketplace can do something like this. Let's get rid of this path right here. Excuse me. Right now we're getting some resistance right in this area right here. So we're looking like we could do this. Come down, light around to the 106.5, come back upward, come back downward. If we break this, we're opening up a path to 105, where I think there would be some solid support to take the coin back up into this area and then potentially break upward. But of course, that's all just conjecture right now. So that's exactly what I got going on. I just wanted to make sure I was clear with that. So let's go on over to XRP for the XRP army. All right, so hang on a second. I'm disconnected. All right, so again, touching the main support at 280. If there's more pressure on Bitcoin, XRP could actually drift down to, like, say, 270, 272. The main line in the sand is 260. It's been there. It's been here for, I don't know, a week and a half right now. So that's the main line in the sand for XRP. The three psychological level has not been able to hold. Okay, so this is actually putting the pressure on XRP. 3 needs to be overcome. It needs to hold. And then the next level, as I've been saying, is 307. 307. The 307, say the 312 area. The break upward needs to occur at 315. And then it needs to get above 324 and 343. If not, it's slipping. XRP slipping. It's going to, the XRP army is going to be in for a little bit more pain. If we break the 272, it's opening to 260. Man, is that going to be painful for them. But it's just part of trading and just the way it goes. We'll take a new look if we get down there. Let's go on over to HBAR, because HBAR is like holding steady. HBAR itself, it didn't take that much of a dip. It's really right now at the support point. Didn't really even expect a little bit of HBAR to come down, but it's down about 4 to 5%. But HBAR has been quietly building a bullish foundation. Now, SWIFT is testing Hedera's DLT for cross-border settlements, and Grayscale just launched an HBAR investment vehicle. So huge credibility wins for this. You need to take a look at HBAR. You need to really try to accumulate some of HBAR. I mean, it's inexpensive enough. It's like a day at the bar, man. I mean, I keep saying that. You go to a bar and you spend $300 on beer, and you never buy beer. You just rent it because you pee it out. So it's something to look at. And again, get into our live group and we will cover this. So technically, the 24 level was acting as support. We kind of broke through it a little bit. We need to get back above 24. And if it does, we could see breakout once institutional momentum kicks in. So you got some time in HBAR, but not that much time. So do your own research, of course. Make sure, trade with your head, not over it. But I think everybody could look at a little bit of HBAR for the long term. Buy HBAR now, and you'll thank me later in a year. Okay, so we can't sleep on the broader altcoin market. Bitcoin dominance drops below 60%, right? So, and Bitcoin itself, we had the liquidity sweep. We're actually coming downward towards that, that main support at 100,000 right now. Okay, so there's rotation into alts, plus a massive 15 billion in Bitcoin and Ethereum options expired today, which is fueling this volatility. Chainlink, Polkadot are on watch for September momentum plays as well. All right, before we wrap up, I'm going to make sure you're well aware of our trading community. Links are in the description. You click, where's that link? Right there. Click that link. You'll be taken over to our pro group, where you can get in. We drop insane alpha and trading opportunities daily. We got breakup setups, long-term gems. We got you covered here. You want to follow us with our trusted broker of choice? I'm going to take you over to WeX, where we showcase all our trades, low fees, fast execution. And this is not updated because we're down a little bit in HBAR right now. And I don't even really care about it because, as I said, I'm traveling and this internet is so bad. But anyway, so right now, come on over to X. Follow us on X, where we talk about Bitcoin all day, every day. So we got Bitcoin testing 108. Bulls got to defend it, or we could see a little cascade down into the 105 zone. Ethereum flows a massive XRP ETF rumors are, sparking some interest, but there's also some selling pressure there. So as Hedera gets real institutional backing, we could see that, utility coin really to take off. So we're heading into September, thank God. Make sure you smash the like button, subscribe. So what do you got to do? Well, you got to join our pro group. That's for sure. All right. The second thing you got to do is you got to trade with your head, not over it. You got to do your own research. We're not financial advisors here. We're just traders. And also, as a short-term trader, you got to enjoy the party, but dance near the door. I'll see you tomorrow, hopefully with better internet. Cheers.